Hello, everyone. My name's Hank Sutala. I'm here with Paul DeFranco, and this is going to be the first episode of Wellness Wednesday, soon to be renamed Holistic Pathways, probably. We'll see how it goes. But welcome, and uh, let me go ahead and play our little intro video, and we'll get started. Welcome, everyone, and I'm so thrilled that you're here with us today. We have Paul DeFranco, who's one of the affiliates at Holistic Health and Healing, and we are going to be starting to do this, I believe, on a weekly basis, where we're going to be offering this little meditation experience that Paul's going to walk us through.
Yes, indeed. So this is number one, and I'm actually going to be revisiting something you and I did maybe about 3 weeks ago called a body scan. But this
Great.
time, we're going to go a little deeper. Last time we only did like maybe a 5 or 10 minute sample, and this time we're going to take it a few steps deeper.
Great. And for those of you joining us, this is going to be a meditative experience. So I know if you're just kind of surfing through Facebook, you may want to pause for a moment, get settled. If you don't have time right now, bookmark the video so you can go back when you do have time, because this body scan process is absolutely amazing. And it's the perfect precursor for doing like a sitting meditation, which is a really good meditation as well. Do you want to we'll give people just a moment to kind of get settled and find us here that we've gone live. Can you speak a little bit more about what the process entails, kind of like a walkthrough without going into it so people can kind of gear up to what to expect?
Yeah, well, first of all, this one's great if you're laying down. It can be laying down on a floor or a couch or bed. If you're feeling a little bit sleepy, put yourself into a little bit of an uncomfortable position so you don't fall asleep. Unless you want to fall asleep, then go ahead. And the way it works is we're just going to be asking you to just imagine and visualize various parts of the body one by one, top to bottom or bottom to top, and asking you to relax that part of the body as we go. And it's just amazing. I used to do this when I taught yoga regularly after, as part of the Shavasana, the final relaxation in yoga classes, and people would fall asleep even on hard wooden floors
That's
and
great.
didn't want to come back.
And I've been fortunate enough. We just had an 8 week series where Paul was doing movement and meditation. I've gone through this process a couple times, and I found that it's great to, if you feel heaviness inside or any sort of tension, it's just kind of gives that body this sense of this little peace and calm that will come over you. So highly recommend it. So we can go ahead, and unless you want to give any more pre-definition here, we can go ahead and get started.
Just maybe a word of caution. If you're driving anything, I don't care if it's a skateboard or a bike,
Well,
don't listen.
yeah,
Listen
this is
later.
good information because I know Magic Mike, he's one of our regular listeners. Magic Mike is responding here, and he's oftentimes driving around doing something. So, Mike, if you're listening, you shouldn't do this while driving, buddy. So,
Don't
but that's
do
great
that.
words of caution.
Don't
Great.
want
Well,
to do that.
I will go ahead. I'll put up the background. I will focus it in on Paul. And at the end, or even during, if like you're not fully meditating, but you're kind of being a little bit more attentive, you feel free to make comments. We can respond to them afterwards. And if there's certain things that you'd like to see, Paul is a hypnotherapist. He's done past life regressions. He's done stuff with the Akashic records. So if there's certain things that you'd like to see going forward, put it in the comments. We would be happy to try to make some content around that and go from there and see what this will develop into.
Absolutely. And just one final thing, if you have a pet, probably a good time. Mine's locked away right now. A phone, get it away. Put a do not disturb sign all around you. You'll want to just lay back and relax for this. Okay?
Absolutely. All right. I will turn it over to Paul, and there you go.
All righty, here we go. So why don't we just start with a little bit of movement? Maybe shake off the day a little bit. Roll the shoulders. Do what you have to do to kind of put the body in a good space. If you're laying down, you might want to do some cross stretches if you're down on the floor. Right, if you're still sitting and you haven't gotten to that laying down position, just a little bit of movement always gets the body ready to
And just my
relax.
apologies, everyone. I'm trying to get this background just right for Paul, and I've never done the screen share like this before, so it's taken me just a moment to get it down. I apologize. So bear with me for a moment while I get this set up correctly for you, Paul.
Do you want me to keep going, or
Yeah,
you want
no,
me to
you no,
pause?
you can
Keep
keep
going.
going. I just wanted to because
Okay.
I'm shifting it around and want to apologize to everyone, but I will get this
Okay.
figured out in a moment and go from there.
Okay. Well, they'll have their eyes closed in just a moment, so it
Yep.
probably
Oh,
won't
there we go. I
matter.
think I got it now.
That's all you have to say. Okay. So we've got shaken off the day a little bit, which is always a good thing. And just allow your eyes to gently close. And as always, focus on your breathing, feeling your body rise, and your belly, rather, your belly. Well, it's part of your body. Your belly rise and fall with each breath in and each breath out. Focus on the rhythm of your breathing and the sound of your breath and the sound of my voice, letting in any and all outside distractions simply fade away. And as they're fading away, they're reminding you how relaxed you're feeling. Very good. So, in your center of the forehead, I'd like you to imagine a big ball of spinning white energetic light, spinning faster, faster, and faster. And then when you're ready, just project that down into your left toe and feel what's happening in that left toe as that energy enters. And then let that energy and that light spread to the remaining toes in the left foot. Come down to the ball of the foot, the arch of the foot, the heel of the foot, the top side, left side, right side, inside, outside. And take a deep breath in. And on your exhalation, just let that left foot simply dissolve away. Very good. Now I'd like you to raise your awareness up into the left ankle, the shin, the calf, all the way up to the knee. Really put your awareness, sense and feel what's happening in that part of the body. Take a deep breath in, and then just let the lower left leg simply and easily dissolve away. Raise your awareness, if you would, to the left knee and the quadriceps, the front, the hamstrings, and the back. And really put your consciousness in that part of the body, all the way down to the cellular level, the bones, the muscles, tendons. Really feel and sense what's happening. Take a deep breath in, and then just let the upper left leg simply dissolve away. Very good. Bring that big ball of spinning energy back into the brow area and really feel what that's like in the brow area. And then when you're ready, just project it down into the right toe. Sense and feel what's happening in that toe. Spread that energy, that sensation, that awareness in the remaining toes on the right foot. Bring it into the ball of the foot, the arch of the foot, the heel, top side, all the bones in the foot, so that the right foot is fully and completely on your radar screen. And then take a deep breath in. And as you do, just let the right foot simply and easily dissolve away. Raise your awareness once again to the lower right leg from the knee on down to the ankle, fully becoming conscious of every part, every piece, every molecule in that part of the body. Good. Take a deep breath in, and when you're ready, just let the lower right leg simply dissolve away. Great. Raise your awareness, if you would, to the upper right leg from the knee all the way to where it joins onto the hip. Feel and sense what's happening in that part of the body. Really become totally and completely aware and conscious. Bring your consciousness into that part of the body. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just let that part of the body simply and easily and quickly dissolve away. Very, very good. And bring your awareness into the pelvic floor, all the way into the hips, left and right, right and left, front, back, inside, outside, all the organs inside the pelvic region from the waist on down to the floor. All the bones, muscles, tendons, so that every part of that body is completely saturated with your awareness. Take a deep breath in. And when you exhale, just let that part of the body simply dissolve away. Very good. Very good. You're doing great. Bring your awareness into the abdominal region from the waist area all the way up to the lower ribs. This area is rich with organs. Bring your awareness into the very large vertebrae, the base of the spine. With every part of that body is completely covered inside and out with your awareness. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just let that part of the body simply and easily dissolve away. You're doing great. You're doing great. Bring your awareness up into the rib cage area from rib to rib, moving up towards the shoulders, spreading that awareness, spreading that consciousness all the way up to the shoulders, and now sinking it down into the bones, into the structures, into the organs and the heart and the lungs, completely saturating your consciousness, your awareness into the upper thoracic region. Feel and sense what's happening there. Feel and sense and feel. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just let that part of the body simply and easily dissolve away. Good. Bring that awareness up into the brow area again and feel it spinning. Big ball of white energy spinning round and round and round. And when you're ready, project it into the left thumbnail. And now the thumb, going down to the joints. And spreading finger by finger into the left hand, into the palm, into the top hand, or top part of the hand. Left side, right side, inside, outside, top side, bottom side, into all the bones, all the way down to the DNA. Your left hand is completely on your radar screen. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just let the left hand simply dissolve away. Raise your awareness, if you would, to the left wrist, all the way up to where that lower left arm becomes the elbow, the forearm, so that all the muscles, tendons, bones, red blood cells, white blood cells, every part of that body is completely saturated with your consciousness. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just let the lower part of the left arm simply and completely dissolve away. Good. Raise your awareness to the upper left arm from the elbow on up to where it affixes onto shoulder area, triceps in the front, in the back rather, the biceps front, all the bones, all the structures, all the tissues, completely saturated with your awareness. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, just let that part of the body simply and easily and completely dissolve away. Good. Bring that energy up into the brow area. And when you're ready, fire away into the right thumbnail, spreading to the remainder of the thumb, the remainder of the fingers, one by one, into the top part of the hand, the bottom of the hand, the palm of the hand, all the way to where it becomes wrist. Every part of the right hand is completely covered inside and out. Inside and out with your awareness. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just let that part of the body simply and easily dissolve away. Raise your awareness once again, please, to the upper part of the right arm, the lower part, the forearm, underneath, on top, left, right, inside, outside, so that the lower right arm is completely on your radar screen. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just watch it simply and completely dissolve away. Good. Raise your awareness once again to the upper right arm from the elbow all the way to where it becomes the shoulder, completely saturating and painting that consciousness, that awareness in that part of the body, inside and out. Take a deep breath in. And when you exhale, that part of the body will simply and easily and magically dissolve away. Bring your awareness into the neck area, all the way from where it joins, becomes the shoulders on up, just below the head, all the neck bones, trachea, tonsils. Every part of that body is completely saturated with your awareness inside and out. Deep breath in. As you exhale, just let that part of the body and anything that might be stored there that doesn't belong there, it's no longer serving you, completely and easily dissolve away. Good. Raise your awareness once again, if you would please, into the lower part of the head, the chin, left cheek, right cheek, left part of the nose, the right part, left temple, left ear, left eye, forehead, left eyebrow, left, right eyebrow, top of the head, crown, coming around the back, now sinking into the brain, front, top, side, brain stem. Remember all your teeth and into your tongue, and back down to the jaw, so that every part of the head, every part inside and out, is completely and totally saturated with your awareness. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, just let that part of the body simply dissolve away. Very good. Breathing in, breathing out, following your breath, drifting and unwinding, unwinding and drifting, comfortably floating and unwinding, leaving behind all the structures, all the circuitry associated with any and all pain, leaving behind all the circuitry associated with any and all sensations of anxiety, any and all worries, any and all aches. Those are all gone now. Comfortably floating and drifting, sensing only the breath, sensing only the breath. And just let yourself comfortably float into any part of the room that you're in. Any part of the room you're in, maybe one of the cozy corners, floating and drifting, leaving behind all aches, all pains, all worries, all stresses, all strains. Any and all negativity has all dissolved away, just comfortably floating and drifting, drifting and floating, focusing on your breath, focusing on your breath. Very good. Very good. And drifting back to the place where you started. It's the floor, couch, the bed, the chair. Just easing on back, easing on back. Feeling your body now, feeling your body, feeling your toes, feeling your feet, feeling your calves, sensing your legs, the pelvic region, the abdominal region, thoracic region, each arm, left and right, right and left, sensing your neck, from the top of the head to your feet, feeling your body. Very good, very good. And if your palms are faced up, just turn them down into the ground, feeling grounded once again. Nice deep breaths in and out, deep breaths in and out. Good. Bringing a little movement down, maybe starting with your toes, wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers, maybe circling your wrists, circling your ankles, maybe shifting your head from left to right and right to left, feeling your body, feeling the full support of the ground, the chair, bed, the couch below you, feeling the textures, what's below you. Nice, even deep breaths, even the deep breaths. Returning to room level consciousness. I'm going to count you up from 1 to 3 and be back fully and completely into your body. Returning to room level conscious now. 1, 2, and 3. Welcome back.
Thank you very much, Paul. And for next time we do that, the bowl I couldn't hear so much when you were doing it, but I can next time provide a little bit of crystal bowl from my side. I think you can hear it.
I can hear that. You've got big bowls there.
Yeah,
This is just a little
yeah,
mini.
yeah. So when we plan these in the future, if you want a little bit of accompaniment, just let me know when, and I will be happy to provide a little crystal bowl action.
Great idea. Great idea. So, if they have any questions, can they write in now in the chat,
Yeah.
or could they write into me if they wanted to,
Yeah.
or how might that work?
Yep. If you are watching, we have a couple people watching on Facebook and a couple on YouTube. So if you like to ask a question or offer something that you experienced, you can certainly type it in and we can put it on screen. I'm very happy. Mike, in fact, was parked. So he parked to do the exercise. He wasn't driving around. So thank you, Mike, for
Ah,
being safe. And we really appreciate that.
they wouldn't want to read you about you in the headlines tomorrow.
And there is about a 30 to 60-second delay from when people make a comment from when I see it. And if you are watching from one of the many groups that it was shared to, I will not see the comments. We can't, it's not a direct stream to the group. So if you're watching from one of the groups, there is a link to the YouTube channel at the top. You can click over to that and you can make a comment there. And Mike was just attesting, yes, I have some big bowls. How does it get any better than that? And speaking of that, we are having a concert this Friday. So if you're interested, check that out too.
There you go. Yeah.
I know I say this all the time. I really think you have one of the best voices for this type of work.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate the feedback.
And Amber was asking, any advice on pain drawing awareness during an exercise like this? It's kind of kept pulling me out of the meditation. So it sounds like she has some physical discomfort that's happening while she's trying to do the exercise.
Hmm. Well, it's possible that with a repeated practice, and will this be parked on YouTube somewhere that she might
Yep.
not be able to access?
Yeah, in the description from well, it's going to be parked permanently on Facebook as well. But there is
Okay.
a link to the YouTube channel, and if you watch there, it helps to get served to a lot more folks. So if you're going to rewatch it, definitely go to YouTube and like it, subscribe, and comment. Uh,
Hmm.
but you were saying that
Sounds
if
good.
there's a oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead, please.
No, I was just paraphrasing what you had started to say that if you are starting to do a regular practice, that there's a that might in and of itself help to stay in it.
Yeah, so that's one. And the other is to look into mindfulness meditation, which is a practice that's one of the reasons why people get in is for pain management. This is one tiny little exercise that the mindfulness meditation training people will use. That's one of the places I learned it. So that's another option. The third is that maybe it's signaling that something needs to be looked at. I mean, not everything is meant to be um, ignored or numbed away. It could be a signal that there's something there that needs it. It's calling at you and saying, "Hey, pay attention to me."
Right. And Amber, if you watch on Friday, I'm on with Dr. K. She's actually a functional medicine doctor. So it would be a great time. We're talking about supplements this Friday, but we can go off topic and answer any questions. So if you want to bring it up on that segment, we might be able to give you a little bit more of a medical insight because I can't do that. Paul can't do that, but Dr. K can. That was going to be
What?
Friday at 10 o'clock,
I was just going to ask you what time. And that's 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
That was my question. What time? So,
Yeah,
there you go.
it's almost like I'm psychic. Oh.
Did that help, Amber? Or is there going to be a 30-second or 60-second delay on yours?
There can be a little bit of a delay if she's
Oh,
typing back to us. And the other
okay.
thing to ask is if you're empathic at all. A question that I like to tell people to ask is, what are you, the being, aware of that you're not willing to acknowledge that the body is acknowledging for you? Because a lot of the things as an empath that you pick up on are other people, places, or things. And oftentimes it's just because we're aware of something that we want to ignore. And then the body says, well, you can ignore it, but I'm not. And so is it even yours? And Amber was saying, thank you. Pain is a fact of life for me, so I'm trying.
It sounds like a chronic
Yeah,
condition. In that case, I might really look into mindfulness meditation as specifically aimed at pain management. I'm sure you can find books and articles on that where it just focuses in on that for you.
right.
Yeah, sorry to hear that. Gets better.
Yeah, and depending what it is too, something like I know when we were doing the 8 week series, a lot of the very light yoga type of things that you did were kind of loosening up the body that created a space of relaxation. So maybe something like that even could create a little bit of relief when you're trying to meditate. Of course, talk to your medical doctor before you do any exercise regimen. Have to say my disclosure.
Yeah, might just depend on what type it is and what's causing it and all that
Absolutely.
without knowing more. But hope that helped.
Yeah. Any other questions or comments, suggestions, inspirations, anything we are happy to speak to. And also going forward, we called it Wellness Wednesday today, but we're going to be changing that because maybe Paul will be on at different times and he's not always going to do meditation. We might do all kinds of different things to be of service. And Amber says, thank you. So I believe that did provide a little bit of help for her. Cool.
You're welcome.
And thank you
Yeah,
for being
thanks for
with us.
listening in. Yeah.
Yeah. And if any of you came in midway and you're going to go back and you're going to be listening to the whole thing, take a moment and start like a watch party or share it on your page when you're doing it just to help spread this contagion of consciousness that we have going on. And then Mary was just offering that Reiki may also help with that pain. So that might be another thing that you can look at. And Mike was reaffirming, yes,
Absolutely.
it does. So you got like three yes, it does for Reiki. So that's definitely something else that you can look into.
Reiki does speed healing.
You know, in a
There.
way, that's what got me into all this.
Reiki.
I used to do irrigation, and I would dig trenches, like all these big things for laying down pipe, and my back was always in pain. And my aunt at a psychic fair from Goddess Elite, back with the old owners, bought me a Reiki session. And I just remember how much relief it gave me afterwards. I was like, wow, there's something to this. And the next thing you know, I was getting Reiki training because it was so, and that was like a lot of pain I was in from how much I was out digging. So definitely check it out if you haven't tried it already.
Yeah, I've had, I don't know, hundreds of hours. Reiki. I can't even figure it out in my head, but it really helps healing. I think too, keep Amber, keep trying things. Sometimes one thing might work for somebody else, but not another. I think it's finding the right modality that gets at the specific problem you're having or your body and what it's like.
Right. And
Some
one
things
great
seem to be better than others for me.
and when if you're looking at a couple of different things, you could also ask, if I get a Reiki session, how does it feel in my body, and see if it feels light or heavy compared to if I go get something else. And you can tell, like, just from what feels lightest, that's what you choose, because whatever the more lightness you choose, the more that you bring into your life. So you can kind of test it out. And if you haven't been one to develop your intuition in that way, you could do something like muscle testing, kinesiology, to kind of test out which things might be the greatest contribution for the body. So another way you can kind of narrow it down, because there are, like, just in Reiki, there's like over 500 different types of Reiki. So how do you pick? Like, you can just start narrowing it down by this little binary code with the universe of heavy and light. Cool.
So you asked the lightness question beforehand. That's interesting. I tend to ask the lightness question after afterwards. So, for example, when I go for a specific kind of therapy, that's one of the things that I look for afterwards. Am I feeling lighter? Is it feel like something's been unburdened or come off me? And when I do hypnotherapy, that's one of the pieces of feedback I look for after the session is, do you feel lighter? So you're getting it out ahead,
Absolutely.
using it kind of as a screening device.
And you
And I'm,
can, oh, go ahead.
I said, I'm looking at it as an effectiveness measure on the other end.
Well, you can do both.
Yeah.
And if you're not that intuitive, the question you can ask them, well, if like say you ask if Reiki is going to help and you don't feel anything, you can then say, well, if I get 10 Reiki sessions, how do I feel 1 year from now? And you put it on a trajectory, because if you haven't developed that little, because it's a real subtle energy difference sometimes. And if you put it on a trajectory, you might be able to tell you feel lighter 5 years from now than 5 minutes from now. And so you can kind of, it's a really good way to see what might be a contribution for your body and your being and beyond.
Wow, you've got all kind of magic tricks tucked away in your. The more I talk to you, the more I find out about these things.
Oh, I'm well schooled in many things, but biggest thing is getting in touch with your intuition. If you get in touch with that and develop just a simple binary dialogue with the universe of heavy and light, that is all you need to unravel all the mysteries of the universe. Yeah, and Mike says he knows a shaman or two who do sound. That would be me. But there's something to say with sound though, because the way that the frequencies interact, it creates little, every time a sound wave connects, like crosses each other, it creates a node, which is a still point, and the water molecules in those still points react to the different harmonics, and that can cause a great benefit with circulation, anti-inflammation, all kinds of fun stuff. So sound therapy, even without any spiritual component, has a great physiological benefit, allegedly, since I'm not a medical doctor.
Ah, of course.
Cool.
Well,
Any other questions?
speak now, or you'll have to ask me later.
Well, we will be back and doing this as regularly as possible. So, oh, and I should mention too, let me grab the website link because I just remembered about it. Like I mentioned at the very beginning of the video, Paul is a practitioner at Holistic Health and Healing, which is uh, a center in North Olmsted, Ohio. And doesn't matter where you are in the world, if you found benefit from tonight, one thing that you could do is check out Paul's profile page on our website. And he has little phone consultations where you can talk beforehand. But at the end of the day, he offers all kinds of things, from hypnosis for addictions, for guided meditation, if you wanted to go for past life regressions, all kinds of wonderful things. So I'm going to post a link in the comments, and then I will also put it up as a banner. Actually, I'll do the banner first because it will take me, I can have it up while I get the link posted. So if you want to check it out,
Yeah,
here is the,
so with hypnosis, I wouldn't say all, but many things are possible. And possible means that it could hit something directly, or it might provide some augmentation or support to something that you're doing now and help a complementary kind of support.
yeah, and you might be surprised because you might think something is an issue in one spot, and then you go find that there's like these roots in a past life or a whole different experience that was adding energetically to something that you never connected the dots on before. I had that experience personally when I was regressed with the relationship between my brother and I, which has been problematic at times. So it gave me a lot of insight as to why that might be. And you never know once you get in there what you might find out, and then how much healing can occur once you really identify it and make the choice to let it go. And Paul has a lot of great tools in that space to help you transmute that type of energy.
Yeah, some things are complicated and unexpected. Um, one of my teachers describes it as surgery. He says you're kind of opening people up. Now, this is when you do the deep hypnosis and the deep hypnotherapy, not the light stuff. There's different kinds. So when somebody says I've had hypnosis or I've had formal, you always have to ask, well, what was it like, and what was the procedure like, that kind of thing. There's a lot out there.
Absolutely.
But when you do the deep stuff, it's like opening somebody up, and it's almost like when you do exploratory surgery. Sometimes you have to open up to see what's there and then take it out.
Yep, and we do have a question from Mary. She's asking, the reason I read all these questions, we also will be taking these episodes and we put them on a new platform that I have for audio podcasts. So this is going to be going out to like iTunes and all kinds of things. So, but
Somebody wouldn't be able to read what's on the screen. You'd have to
exactly.
read. Got
Yep,
it.
yep,
Got it.
yep.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be very mindful going forward of doing that because I have not always been. But Mary asks, I tried to have myself hypnotized many times and it has never worked. Is there something that's preventing me from allowing this?
Well, that's a tough one to explain without, talking to you. I would say um, probably schedule a 15-minute consultation. We could talk about it. You go to the website, the Holistic Health and Healing website, to do that. But off the top, um, fear is a great blocker. You don't usually hear fear and great together, but that could be what's going on. There could be some kind of fear of approaching a subject. That's a possibility. I would also ask, are you using a tape or are you using a person? You can only get so much out of a recording, and sometimes a hypnotherapist person, might help problem solve or present different techniques. There's 101, at least, maybe 1,001 different ways of approaching hypnosis and hypnotherapy, and sometimes it's a matter of finding the right path for the right person.
Right. And when you mentioned fear, that's false evidence appearing real. That's one thing. Like if your ego likes to let you relive your worst day over and over again because it knows that you survived it. But if you go to do some real healing work, I jumped the gun. I was going to post that in a second. So this is my acronym for fear. As long as I posted it, I'll say it now. It's feeling excited and ready. So if you can shift from fear to feeling excited, that can take care of a lot of those different things. I jumped the gun on that, but that's okay. But what
Well,
I was,
you've redefined fear, basically.
I
You
did.
said something way earlier that was different, right?
Right.
Feeling,
Well, I was leading up to that, and then my finger clicked the button by accident.
right.
but false evidence appearing real or forgetting
Excellent.
every available resource. A lot of times, it's our ego trying desperately to distract us from future possibility because it doesn't know the outcome, and the ego's job is to make sure you survive, and so it'll let you relive your worst day over and over again. So it's sometimes it's just a matter of not wanting to, at a subconscious level, not wanting to get out of that well-trodden wagon wheel rut that we're in. And because the ego is so desperate to stay there because it knows that you'll survive, even if it's not fun.
Miserably.
Uh, yeah, that's why in AA we say, if you don't know, I've been in recovery for like over 12 years now. We would say that your bottom is when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. You get sick and tired of being in that wagon wheel rut and demand change from the universe. And it's in that space where you start shifting from all that fear into feeling excited and ready for something new that you can really have the shift and get a lot of the benefits. And I'm not sure what you're saying there, Mike, with what would come up. Oh, what could come up? Oh, yeah, just afraid of what might come up. And that was a something for me when I went after why my brother and I had like all this animosity. There was like a past life where what I did as a physician, I lost a mother that was giving birth, and the father raised a child to hate me. And it was like that was a past life thing. I never would have unlocked that on my own, at least not likely. But it gave, and even if that was something that was made up, it gave me context for what was happening. That then we were able to move past and actually have a much healthier relationship. So sometimes it's just giving, you know, contextual thing for it. And she said she did try an actual person trained and licensed.
Okay.
So, well, like Paul said on the website, phone consultation 15 minutes is complimentary. You can schedule one and kind of get a little bit more one-on-one info to see what that might be. And because Paul's a bit of an intuitive, he might not admit it. But I think he's really good at kind of narrowing down and reading what might be going on with someone. Even in a group, which is amazing, having a huge group of people and being able to read what's going on and subtly adjust based on what's happening in the room is really quite a gift.
So, if you have any, we plan to do more of these. If you have any ideas on topics or even preferred times or days, this is our first one like this. Hank and I have done things before on the air, but this is kind of a new idea for me anyway. I'd like to hear it all. Appreciate
Very
it.
cool. You're very welcome. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we will catch you next time.
Adios.